Hello and welcome to Art Block, the show where we talk about art and how it's made. I'm your host Spirit, and joining me today is Tyandaga, the residential celebrity cinnamon roll, as well as the bird with the words himself, Elicitie.
Really? A Family Guy reference?
Yeah, Eli might have had a little bit too much of a hand in writing the script than I would have preferred. Anywho, today we'll be talking about improvement, as well as in order to improve as an artist, you'll have to be willing to learn and relearn the fundamentals of art, as well as the more advanced techniques that follow.
When first starting out, those curious enough and with the right amount of determination may find themselves progressing rather quickly artistically. This is what happened in my case. I really started drawing with the intent of becoming an artist around the summer of 2016, and this is with no artistic background whatsoever. 2 years later, looking through my gallery of just 100 drawings, there are a few places where it looks like someone else did them. The change was so drastic.
Careful, Eli, you might break your wrist.
Hey, I'm giving a neutral example. Don't judge me.
You can go from stick figures to a decent cartoon character in a short amount of time. And once you draw that first really good drawing, sketch, or painting, you may find yourself in love with the style and the characters that you've created. The problem then therein lies when you look up from your drawing tablet and see the art of others. Mama, look what I painted today at school. Ooh, that's very nice, dear. I'll put it up right next to your brother's on the refrigerator. I mean, you wouldn't say it's better per se, but it has qualities you admire and would like to infuse into your own artwork. So you might copy a few of your favorite artists, watch a video or two from their YouTube channel, and read up on as many DeviantArt tutorials as you can. And yet, your art still only ever seems to be subpar. I know this isn't directed towards me, but I feel victimized.
Love you, Ty, darling.
Welcome to your first artistic barrier. A really good way to explain this is to use the image of an ascending staircase. When you first start out, you may find yourself learning and improving quickly, taking small, easy steps. Yet, as you continue to practice and to learn, you find it harder and harder to get to that next level as the steps get higher and higher. This can lead to frustration and downright aggravation as you wonder what's wrong with you and why your art sucks. On the flip side of the coin, some artists may be satisfied with how their art looks at their artistic level and settle there. These are artists whose art doesn't really change much over long expanses of time. They found a system that works for them, and they're happy just where they are.
If you desire to improve further than where you currently stand, you must realize that there is much more work to be done, and your artistic journey hasn't even begun yet. But where to start? Let me assure you that it's a much simpler answer than you'd assume: the beginning. Artist and designer James Victor said it best when he said, "You can't learn anything new until you are open enough to forget everything you think you know."
It's the case that most artists begin their journey outside of a scholastic environment and thusly miss out on a lot of critical founding principles in drawing. You have to learn to draw what's real before you can fabricate what isn't. And time and again, in my own personal experience, I found anytime I'm stuck, going back to basics and working on my artistic foundations really helps me to improve further.
Really? 'Cause I think you still owe me an art trade.
Look at the time, it's your turn.
This isn't over. Shading, line weight, color theory, anatomy, and light. Composition and balance. Ranges of tone and perspective. There are thousands upon hundreds of thousands of sources that can help you improve your fundamentals. And as your foundation grows, so does every aspect of your art. Speaking of aspect, Elicitie, wasn't that what you used to call yourself?
Yeah, let's not go there.
There's no one single trick or tip that can help you improve aspects of your art, but instead an entire field of information that can help you overall. A common issue that I see with many artists, and even in their own art, is that they only ever draw the same thing in the same medium and the same style, the same way, over and over and over again. This can cause artists to build drawing habits, which may hinder them as they continue to learn as a whole. But this stems from the biggest piece, and perhaps the most imprecise piece of artistic advice there is, the dreaded just keep drawing. While this advice is true, it's incredibly general. Don't just keep drawing, draw with purpose.
It's true, being stuck in a stylistic echo chamber will greatly hinder your ability to progress. But fortunately, it isn't that hard to get out of it once you realize that your foundation is where your artistic skill will come from, not the shiny cel-shaded surface. Remember, your cartoons are only as good as your best real-life drawing. But beware, cartoons, child, for they may lead you to the greatest pitfall of all. Style. Wait, style? How's that an artistic pitfall?
I'm so glad you asked, Spy. Style is perhaps the most confining principle in art that I've found to date, yet the most attractive to every new prospective artist. We love artists for their style and wish to create one all our own so that we may someday be recognized, even adored for how we put marks to paper. Yet this is really a backwards desire and can lead many artists to frustration.
You sound like you're gargling a thesaurus.
Hey, I get wordy when I write, alright? Many artists believe that one style is unique to themselves, that it's derived from their identity, yet this is an error, as identity is a concept that we as humans, or in this case, Puritans, I guess, have made up, and so have we with style. Style is not what your art looks like, but instead is your experience and artistic skill tied to what you like, what interests you. That excuse that it's just my style is incredibly flimsy because you're saying this is what my art looks like and will look like as it is tied to me. It is not your style, but it is instead your choice to not improve, not to change. To grow, you must abandon style in exchange for expression. Your style will always be present, and if you'll improve, you'll never stay the same for long. Those that chase a certain style or are happy with their current style will be greatly hindered, as opposed to those that instead focus on improving their skills and not their style. Above all, it's important to keep in mind that art is not a complex creature. In the words of playwright August Wilson, the simpler it's said, the more eloquent it is. And so is it's the same for art. Art is many very simple concepts stacked on top of each other, and that if done correctly and in order will almost always ensure good art. At least in my opinion.
Are you done?
Well, there's a lot more, but we'd be here for hours.
Ty, do you have anything to say? I thought so. Overall, the important thing to remember when improving your art is asking yourself what's important to you. Do you want to establish art as a career and learn all the ins and outs, or are you seeking to make it nothing more than a hobby and take commissions from time to time? In truth, art is both a form of experimentation and expression, a practice of finding your strengths and weaknesses as you grow as an artist. As an artist, no matter whether you're doing it just as a hobby or as a career, there's always something to keep in mind. Strive to become better at what you're bad at, push to be greater at what you're good at, and remember that you'll only improve from here on out. And that's about it for today's episode. If you guys like what you saw and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to receive more notifications for when new videos come out. A big thanks to Tyandaga and Elicitie for joining me today on the show. Please be sure to check out their work and support them. Links are in the description below. This is, in fact, the season finale of the show. However, I will be coming out with Season 2 within the year, so if you want to keep up with me and what's going on with videos, be sure to follow me on Twitter and DeviantArt, where I post artwork and updates about the show. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Spirit.
I'm Tyandaga.
And I'm Elicitie.
And we'll see you next time.